Hello and welcome to Geoscope with me, Graham Hughes, and I'm joined by Mike Dicks tonight. How you doing, Mike? Ollie can't make it, and Mike has graciously said he'll step into the breach.
I am absolutely no replacement for the genius that is Ollie. I apologise to everybody for that.
You're my favourite.
I'll do my best.
I'm sure you will. But before we crack on with our 1 hour long show, rounding up of what's going on around the world. Until we hand you over very delicately, very, because you're our precious viewers, we wouldn't want to be rough, hand you over very delicately over to Maximilian Robespierre, who is starting streaming at 8:30. So say hello when you see him. And before then, we've got Sarah in the chat, we've got Simon, we've got Graham, not me, different Graham H, Graham Haller. We've got Diz in the chat, we've got Reverend Kathy as well, we've got Svax in the chat, it's the Svax of life. We've also got Richard in there as well and others. Listen, if you want to join our friends in the chat, ask some questions of us, maybe drop in a super chat or two, then all you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Yay, there it is. And wait for approximately 1 of your Earth minutes and you will be able to join in the chat. Just don't be a troll. Don't be mean. Don't be horrible. Why do we have to say this, Mike? Why do we have to actually say to people, don't be horrible? Like we're talking to grown-ups here. We're not talking to kids. Yeah. Don't pick your nose and wipe it on the bottom of the desk.
Just don't be horrible.
Just don't be horrible.
Leave it to us.
Yeah, leave it to us to being horrible. Exactamundo, dude. Exactamundo. So, first of all, the mad news today, I read this article this morning on the BBC. The Trump's running out of weapons.
Yeah. No Patriots.
So, one of the reasons they think why the US has paused strikes on Iran isn't because Iran is now coming to the negotiation table. Iran is saying that they're not. They're saying explicitly that they're not doing that. They reckon it's because America's running out of fucking missiles.
But it's Biden's fault.
Yeah, it's all Biden's fault. Pete Hegseth has asked Congress for an extra $87 billion to address critical shortfalls, including military equipment. US forces.
I'm sure people do, but why does nobody sit there and do the math and just go, I wonder how many hospitals we could provide for free for that much money?
Yeah.
And just keep our nose out of Iran, basically.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. And then you got the more than 1,000 Tomahawk missiles have been fired. And they reckon that if they stop firing these Tomahawks now, these are like special, because I think Tomahawks are originally from the air, like they're normally put onto planes and stuff and that.
Aren't they? I thought they were sort of air defense missiles.
Yeah, I know. I think these ones that they're talking about are ones that are launched from the ground. Anyway, they reckon that the stockpile of these things, whether it's launched from the ground or from a plane, I don't know. I'm not a weapons expert. I'm not an expert in anything really. But yeah, the estimate is that 1,000 Tomahawk missiles have been fired, and each one of these missiles costs millions. This is not a cheap enterprise, right? Yeah. They reckon that the stockpile might not return to its pre-war level until 2031, and I don't mean 8:30 tonight. I mean literally the year 2031. Like, oh my god,
it's crazy, isn't it? I was reading something that they've been using them as air defense against Iran's drones. And the drones cost tens of thousands of pounds to manufacture.
Yeah.
Missiles cost tens of millions of pounds. And each one that misses them and lands in the sea is just thrown away money, basically.
So there was
it kind of forebodes the fact that they didn't join the war with Ukraine, who are the world's drone expert, and in fact attacked Iran this week.
Yeah.
Or attack some of their ships.
Well, and as many as 1,430 Patriot interceptors might have been used. The stockpile is only 2,300. So they've used over half of them.
Those are the ones they're trying to stop drones with.
Yeah, and there's they have these THAAD interceptors, THAAD interceptors, right? They only had 360 to start with, and they reckon they've used 290. They might only have 70 of these fucking rockets left. Like, they just got, and what Trump doesn't understand is he just thinks you can just buy some weapons from somewhere else. It's just like going to B&Q and you just go, I'll have a barbecue, please. And it's already made. Someone's already put it together. But the production line on these things takes years. And that's why the Tomahawks is going to take 5 years, apparently. I mean, I've got to laugh because otherwise I cry. I mean, it's. I think it's an insult to humanity that people who are this fucking thick are allowed to run countries. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't trust these people to run a bath.
It's. I was just telling you off air that I was watching a Private Eye podcast, and they were talking about Burnham being the Instagram Prime Minister, and they said that there were comments under one of his. So he's been making announcements on influencers, podcasts, and YouTube channels. You're welcome, Andy, whenever you want to come and join Graham's channel and announce something significant like Scouse
Labour
Day.
Social for the day.
Yeah. But no, they were saying that the comments underneath it are like, "Oh God, have we got a new Prime Minister? Great!" Basically, you kind of get the leaders you deserve, don't you? Really?
Well, to some extent, but we don't deserve Trump. The world does not. America does. If America was some horrible little backwater in the middle of buttfuck nowhere that no one cared about and didn't have really that much of an effect on countries anywhere else in the world, I wouldn't care. You know, it's not like we sit here every day, you know, freaking out about the latest thing that the president of Namibia has done. Do you know what I mean? We don't even think about it. But the problem is the president of America...
He's an absolute bastard.
He's a bastard, whoever it is, or she. But, you know, that's my point. Like, Americans say to me, when I complain about Trump, they go, "Oh, he's not your president. You know, what's it got to do with you?" And I'm like,
yeah,
it's got everything to do with me because what he does fucks us over. And if he decides he's got to put this... Do you know the new tariffs that he's put onto... Because the old tariffs ran out because the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. For the reason he gave for putting the tariffs on, whatever it was, he was using these emergency war powers to put the tariffs on, right? Now he's using a different wizard wheeze to put tariffs on.
Which the court actually, the Supreme Court told him, didn't they, in their ruling last time when they said you can't do it under this law, but you could try this one.
Try this one, yeah. And what it is modern slavery.
Yeah.
And it's not that we have modern slavery in the UK and that's what allows him to put the 10% on. He's saying because we don't have a law stopping modern slavery, but we do. I mean, but the same law as America, put in the same way. But we don't.
Remind me, this is the country that hasn't signed up for the International Criminal Court, or yeah,
and it's left the WTO. Sorry, the WHO.
They get to police the rest of the world, even though they don't comply with these laws themselves.
Yeah.
And effectively, they've been operating with modern slavery since they abolished slavery.
Yes.
Basically, you know.
Well, I mean, this is the only. It's got the most number of slaves in the world, America. The reason being is it's got the highest incarceration rate in the world. Most civilized countries around the world is you've got about 1 in every 1,000 people is in jail. In America, it's 1 in 100. 1% of the entire population is in jail at any point in time, and it's because it was all privatized and someone's making money out of it. So they elect judges over there, which is crazy. So it doesn't matter how factored up you are on legalese, legal texts and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is do a little commercial, thumbs up, vote for me. Saul Goodman.
Saul.
Yeah, better call me. I'll be a judge. And this isn't everywhere in America. It's just some states in America. They allow
some
this
states,
system. And the people who win are the people with the biggest war chest to fight the campaign. And who are they? The people who are being paid by the people who make the fucking prisons. So once they become the chief justice person in their state, they just send everyone off to jail because, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We got you elected. Do as we say or we'll fund you.
I'm fairly certain that's what Zia Yusuf and the Reform MPs are asking for at the moment because they keep crying for everybody to. They're trying to get Zach Balansky locked up today for liking a post about a T-shirt, basically.
Yeah. The free speech warriors. No, not like that. Free speech for all. No,
not that kind of free speech.
No. When it's directed against us, when it's directed against women and children, yeah, sure, we're all for that. When it's saying we should burn down a building with women and children in it, that's fine with us. But in fact, we'll fly to America and tell America to put sanctions on the UK for putting this woman in jail for doing this thing that she fucking did, Lucy Connolly, which she admitted to. She pled guilty. She said, "Yeah, I did that."
And she's trying to make herself the heroine of that organization now, isn't she?
Yeah.
Badly, because she's a terrible woman.
Yeah. She's awful.
Then again,
awful.
She's up against Liz Truss, so it's not much of a competition, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Potato versus a lettuce.
Oh my God. Just to go back to the weapons thing just for a moment, it is a bit of a worry because the knock-on effect on America supplying weapons to Ukraine. So things have slightly changed when Trump got back in, and now Ukraine's basically having to borrow money off Europe to pay American defense companies to produce rockets and things for it. Those rockets aren't going to be available because America's going to be buying them all up for the next few years.
Apparently Zelensky's in Washington today with Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump.
Oh, wow.
Tripartite meeting. I mean, Zelensky's having to weave like a snake, isn't he, through all of this, really?
Yes.
The attack that he made on the 2 Iranian ships this week, where they're saying the Iranians are saying it was shipping consumer goods, and Zelensky's saying no, it was drone components for Russia.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like they've just done that 2 or 3 days before he goes over to America to meet Benjamin and Donald.
Oh, it's because it was Lindsey Graham's funeral today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Have you seen that video of Lindsey Graham talking about to his staff about how excited he is that they're now bombing Iran?
No.
There's a video going around with him. He's essentially going, "This is just great. I told Donald to do this, and Donald's doing this. He loves bombing people."
Oh, wow.
It's what I've always wanted. And then he dies a month later, having killed a bunch of Iranian children.
Well, having seen it was a disaster. Having seen that America finally gave him the war that he wanted, and America lost.
Yeah.
There was a major earthquake in Japan a couple of hours ago. A few hours ago now. 7.1 magnitude. But that was it was a 6.8. There's been a few instances where there's been an explosion at the shopping mall over there.
Yeah.
I mean,
and a lot of people trapped in the shopping mall.
Yeah. And there was a paper factory as well, which was nearby, which collapsed. So there is chances that quite a few people will die when this is not a really big earthquake for the area.
I shouldn't be allowed to comment on live news stories, should I? Because if you're going to make your factories out of paper, then you should expect them to fall over.
Very good, Mike.
My thoughts are with the families of the people affected.
But yeah, I mean, Canada, Japan is on the ring of fire in the Pacific, and these things happen. But a lot of the time, the buildings that are built there are built to earthquake proof. One of the reasons
I thought Japan was largely operating to code on that kind of thing, but
it does. It just depends on the. You could get like an earthquake that isn't as brutal, but just because of the direction of the wave blast or whatever, or the shape of the waves, it can affect things differently. But one of the reasons why in Japan for many years they'll build these wonderful temples and things, but they would literally be made of paper. When they had the paper partitions between the walls and stuff, and it was basically because there was no point in building something like
easy to rebuild, basically.
Like St. Paul's Cathedral, because it would fucking fall down at some point. So they were like, well, there's no point. We'll just build stuff that we can rebuild pretty easily. It's amazing that some temples have survived so long in Japan. These very lightweight, sort of flexible temples, I guess. But if you tried to build something like what we had in Europe, it would just have fallen apart. But yeah, that's a bit of shit news. Also, a bit of shit news. These fucking wildfires in France and Spain. And I got to ask, did you hear the guy on LBC who was talking about putting leaves in his oven?
No.
Oh God, I'm sorry to depress the living shit out of you, but some human being. I think it was human being. It might have been a robot. Sure. I mean, I can't imagine a human being this stupid. But he did a scientific experiment. Got some leaves, right, and some branches and that, and they put them in the oven at 180 degrees and left it there, and it didn't catch light.
Right.
And
this was to Prove what?
Oh, it's people setting fires. That's what's causing these massive fires in France and Spain. It's not climate change. It's people setting fires.
Right. Okay. I mean, if you'd thrown a match on them after they'd been in the oven for an hour, they'd have pretty much gone up, basically. Yes. So that's fair. But also, if you understood the difference between radiant heat and sunlight, going through clouds and the lenses of water.
You can walk through a forest in the middle of a rainstorm with a flamethrower. You're not going to set anything on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a triangle. Is it combustion? The combustion triangle. It's got to have oxygen and heat and an ignition. Fuel
and scale as well.
Fuel and ignition. Yeah.
And it's demonstrating is that in 3 square feet of confined space, it doesn't work, basically.
What can you do? What can you do against such stupidity? Back in the day, they used to ask, and they talked about the Nazis. Say, what can you do in the face of such evil? What can you do in the face of such stupidity, Mike?
I mean, as you know, my son lives in Madrid. He's not there at the moment, and Maria, my partner, does as well, and she lives up in the mountains. And I've been monitoring Google Maps. Google Maps is pretty good in these circumstances. They do live maps of where the fire is spreading, updated every hour or so, basically from satellite imagery. It's quite. It's devastating to watch it, the number of people being moved out. They seem to be getting some level of control over it. But Sanchez has come out, I think I said this to you the other day, the Prime Minister has come out, President has come out and said, this is climate change. We all need to work together now to work internationally to stop this happening, basically. It's important. And yet you still got idiots out there going, oh, it's just people with barbecues. Yeah. Brilliant.
Well, we had this in Australia 20 years ago when we had these amazingly devastating fires in Australia. And Australian bushfires are basically part of the ecosystem over there. And for a long time, one of the excuses that white man had when he turned up was that the Aboriginals weren't using the land. They weren't using the land, and therefore it was okay to take it off them. Right? If they'd been farming it, that would have been different. But they were farming it just on a scale that the Europeans couldn't envision. Because what the Aboriginals would do was set fires and keep the fire managed. Because they'd had 50,000 years of living in this terrain, in this environment. And they knew how to manage the fires. They knew the fires would always come. And they'd make it so that they controlled what got burnt. Whitey turns up, builds a house in the middle of a forest. Forest is tinder dry. They don't burn it off to, get rid of the scrub and everything every few years. Builds up and builds up and builds up. And then they have a fire, which is like no other, which not only, it's the heat from the fire and the flames, it sucks up all the oxygen. You can't breathe.
And they're happening in North America now as well, aren't they? There's been emergencies declared in a couple of states because there's massive wildfires running across there now.
Yeah.
They still won't. I still do nothing about it.
Avila in Spain has been described as the country's largest recorded wildfire in history.
Yeah. And there's like 6 of them surrounding the country at the moment, like big ones.
I was talking this morning about the average rainfall in July for the south of England.
This year? Well, over time, yeah.
This year, do you know what the percentage of the norm is? The percentage of the average.
What percentage of the normal is? I'd say it's 1 or 2% of normal.
1%. 1%.
Yeah, it literally, I'm in the southeast. It literally rained for about a minute and a half the other day, and that's the first rain I've seen since I've lived here.
Wow.
So it's like,
and people are still denying that we've done this. Is it?
Yeah, and it's like I was saying the other day. I drove over the Downs the other day, and it looks like a tinderbox. It really does look like it could go up any minute. And we're expecting another heat wave next week, aren't we? So
yeah, but I hope I can talk to you about this particular thing. But there's a lot of people who get cancer, right? And for whatever reason, they can't take it. I mean, they can't take the news that they've got cancer. They feel like that because no one can envisage something happening to them like that. I can
understand them.
And their first response, instead of going, right, okay, what can we do to mitigate this? What can we do to stop this? The first response is just to go have this, like, it's like the stages of grief almost. It's like, denial. It's the first thing. Denial. I'll deny it's actually happening. And a lot of people don't get the treatment that they need that could let them live longer because of this, human thing of like, I'll stick my head in the sand and then,
it's not quite the same. But I was in hospital with a guy and I was chatting to him. He was having the same operation as me, same cancer. And his family were visiting that afternoon. And he said, "Oh, do me a favor, Mike, and don't mention it to them. I haven't told them what it is." And I went, "Well, you're going to have to go home in a week's time, mate. I think they're going to find out," basically. He's going, "No, I'll be able to cover it up." And I thought, what a fucking life. He didn't want his kids to know that he was weak. That was his. And listen, I'm not knocking him. That's that's his belief system. That's what he was brought up with, basically. But it just amazed me as somebody that draws cartoons about having things shoved up my arse to deal with it, and doing the opposite. It's like, I don't get it, but everybody reacts to it in different ways, and denial is one of the main stages of it. It's funny because after we spoke on Sunday, not because I spoke to you, but I'd got an appointment to go and see a psychiatrist, mainly because I needed to get my ADHD drugs reconfirmed for the new GP. So you have to go and see a psychiatrist to get them to sign off.
Yeah.
And bless him, he got an hour of my state of mind, basically. And he was talking about the fact that I'm dealing with grief, really, that's what's going on at the moment. And that, luckily, I don't think I ever went through the denial phase, but or maybe it's still to come.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why I drew that analogy is because this is very much like the climate change deniers, but it's even more frustrating because it's as though someone's got a deadly disease. And instead of fucking getting it treated, they go, "No, I'm going to give it to everyone else as well because I don't believe that I've got it."
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's COVID time, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, we saw that in COVID, yeah. And people with their miracle fucking cures. And, apparently we were all going to be dead by now, Mike, because we got vaccinated. And everyone was saying, 2023, 2024, there won't be any of these vaccinated people left. And I'm like, I'm still here.
That went well.
Still here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Then again, we are controlled by the micro robots that have been injected into. Yes. That's why we've got Andy Burnham now as a prime minister. If you think about it, they weren't wrong.
Yeah, except all the things that they said, which were wrong.
Yeah, everything.
Apart from all that.
Other than all the things they said that were wrong, which is everything.
Yeah.
They weren't totally wrong.
So there was the organizer of
can I just, Reverend, just on that, before we leave that subject, Reverend Kathy says that chaplains often meet families where the patient says, "Don't tell my family," and the family says, "Don't tell the patient." That's inter-family communication at its best, isn't it?
I mean, why would you not want your family to know? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, listen, just talking from the experience with a few men that I was in hospital with, it's about showing weakness in their eyes. That they just felt that, sad. They felt that their reputation amongst their family was the strong man, et cetera, and that they didn't want to appear that way in front of them. And I think, when I saw their families talking to them and talking to each other, I sat there thinking, they absolutely know you're a cunt. They're just being polite, basically. You
should have said when the family came in, he said, listen, he doesn't want to tell you, but I'm going to have to tell you now.
Yeah. His arse is riddled with cancer.
No, just say he's a cunt. Just like this, be like this. Don't tell him. He's a cunt.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. But yeah, I was going to move on to talk about Ukraine for a moment because obviously they've had to up the domestic missile production. They're making approximately 100 Flamingo cruise missiles every month now, and obviously we've been talking about how they're making drones. People are printing them in their own kitchens using 3D printers, the parts for it, and it's trying to reduce its reliance on foreign weapons. Which I mean, with the news coming out of America that it's running out of rockets, I mean, it's running out of weapons. I mean, this is something that obviously they need to take very seriously. But there was do you remember last week there was a drone event in Kyiv, and it got hit by a Russian rocket and it killed 11 people.
Yeah.
The organizer of that has been taken to court, which is a bit
for treason or just like a civil case?
He's appeared in court as the authorities investigate responsibility for the gathering because it had been promoted publicly, which raised questions about security and the disclosure of the location. So the Russians knew where it was going to be. They knew there'd be a bunch of
It's either a bit dumb or arrogant, because I've been reading that the Russian targeting systems are nowhere near as accurate as
Is it worth taking the risk?
Yeah, no, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit nuts. The other thing that's been going on in Ukraine as well over the last 2 weeks since we last did a Geoscope is there was an older general who's been in the Russian the Ukrainian army for years and years and years, and he wanted rid of this not junior, but young
defense minister,
yeah,
35-year-old
guy, who was a whiz kid and really knew about drones and all that kind of stuff.
Man.
And there was a big uproar about this because the young lad, he's good, he's really good, and this old guy is seen as like the old guard, and what Zelensky's done, he's sacked the old guy as well, and he's brought the young guy back into his government, a different role, but he'll probably be doing the same thing. But yeah, a bit of crisis management there, which is all Zelensky seems to do. It's just crisis management from one day to the next.
Well, in a way, I think it's a good sign about the health of the country to an extent, is that the politics and protest is still going on. Whereas in Russia, that's not happening. So it's a good sign. But, you wouldn't want Zelensky's bloody job, would you, basically?
Yeah.
I'm sure the adrenaline is great. I'm sure that being a war leader is,
I wouldn't want to be the leader of any country right now. Not with Trump in the White House.
No.
Not the world as
maybe
it is
Zambia.
Right now.
Maybe Zambia, because none of us know who that is, and that you could just quietly get on with running the country, basically. You're right. It's a thankless task, but eventually it's going to, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to wear him down, isn't it?
There's been this hunger strike in a prison near Tehran in Iran. Have you heard about this? It's really grim.
Some of they've sewn their mouths up.
The lips shut, to stop any food being forced down them. The protest began after 6 men convicted of drugs offences were moved into solitary confinement ahead of a possible execution. This is the thing. Like, we laugh at the videos, the Lego videos that the Ukrainian regime puts out, but the Ukrainian regime is fucking horrible. I would like to see rid of it. And all Trump has done is entrenched it for another 50 fucking years. They were probably on their last legs, to be honest with you, if he hadn't interfered.
Yeah. They created a whole new generation of it, hasn't it, really?
A whole new generation of
more angry at America.
Yeah, the great Satan. Here he is, the great Satan, not trying to help them in any way, but trying to just bomb the shit out of them. What do you think that's going to do to a whole generation? We saw this in Afghanistan. Those kids who were, in the Taliban, getting rid of the Americans and the British and everyone else who was still there at the end. They weren't even fucking born when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
And they grew up under American occupation, and they were like, no, we want the Taliban back. We'd rather have that. We'd rather live under our own oppressive government than be told what to do by some oppressive government, as far as they see it, from the other side of the world.
Yeah, I think if you, I know yours and my attitude to America is not particularly healthy, basically, but if you could put yourself in the shoes of one of the countries that's been massively negatively affected by America's influence globally.
Yeah. Iranian, not Ukrainian. Sorry, I said Ukrainian then, apparently. Sorry, I meant Iranian regime. Not the Ukrainian regime, which is all right. Sorry, go on, Mike.
What was it Trump said the other day? The Islamic Republic of Japan.
Japan, that's what I was talking about.
The Islamic Republic of Japan. Yeah.
It's confusing.
No. I'm just saying, if you could put yourself in the shoes of these people, you would. Like, we have a bad attitude to Russia. We think they're an aggressive country constantly trying to fight wars, basically. But you would sit there thinking, America is a monster. Why is it doing this to us? Did Graham have a Trump moment? Asked John, but actually John wrote dig and not did. So did you just have a Trump moment? Dig you?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes your brain says one thing, but your mouth says something else. At least I apologise. Sorry. So to everyone in Ukraine. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about you, man. That's true. And I'm sorry to anyone watching this from Iran who has to put up with their shit government who's now become more powerful because of Donald fucking Trump. And there's an energy crisis going on in Asia. The Houthis have threatened Saudi oil shipments passing through the Bab al-Mandab Strait, which is the little bit between Somalia and Yemen.
I got my globe for this episode.
Okay, so you know the Red Sea, it looks like a hand at 2 fingers up like that. Along the arm, 2 fingers like so. The bottom of the arm, where it just that little bit between Yemen and the Horn of Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the strait that has been threatened by the Houthis, who are in control of vast swathes of Yemen. And Saudi Arabia has redirected much of its oil through the Red Sea. And now it can't get the stuff out the Red Sea to the south exit of it. The north exit is obviously the Suez Canal, which is the wrong way if you go into Asia. If you go into Japan, you go into China. South Korea, India. So Japan is spending billions at the moment on fuel subsidies, while South Korea has extended fuel tax reductions. Tankers can avoid being threatened by travelling all the way around Africa, but the diversion adds considerable time and expense. And there are some pirates active at the moment off the coast of Nigeria, so it's not like you can completely avoid any violence being out at sea. Which is really grim. Meanwhile, over in Pakistan, it's been a local civil rights organisation has accused Pakistani forces of shooting dead 30 unarmed protesters in Kashmir. This is the Pakistani administered Kashmir, which Pakistan and India and also China have been fighting over for many, many, many years. And no one bothers to ask the Kashmiris what they would like. There's no self-determination for the people of Kashmir.
There's no oil there by any chance, is there? Why do they continue to fight over it?
It was the British fucked up. The British drew this line between
lines on maps.
West Pakistan, which is now just called Pakistan, and India, and they didn't. They just sort of did a little thing.
Forgot a corner.
To be approved or something, TBA, to be TBC, to be continued. Anyway, so what it was I think the majority of the people living in Kashmir were Muslim, but the ruler was Hindu, and so they didn't know whether to join India, which was secular, or whether to join Pakistan, which was Muslim. And they ended up having that decision taken away from them because India invaded, Pakistan invaded, and even China wanted a bite of it as well. So not great. Protests over in Pakistan-controlled Kashmir have focused on political rights and government control. But meanwhile, next door in India, there's a cockroach process. Pranay's been talking about this in our chat. Pranay's going to do a special show.
You're doing a show with him on Thursday, aren't you?
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
I'm looking forward to that.
Where he's going to go through everything that's going on. But just as an overview, Indian students have used the cockroach as a symbol of survival and resistance against Modi's government after one of his members of his government called the people the cockroaches. They called them cockroaches. I think it was. I don't know if it was a hot mic incident or something like that, but they picked up with that and they ran with it. And they started. It was actually an Indian guy who was living in Canada at the time who managed to start this movement. It just captured people's imagination across different religious boundaries as well. Modi's very much he wants a Hindu nation. It's young people who feel like they've been gypped because this was all about education policy. There was an incident when these exam papers got fucked up and they were like, we don't care, and the education minister has now finally resigned, and so it's achieved its first objective. It might just be, I don't know if it's the main objective and now it's going to pack up. We'll have to talk about that on Thursday, but it is interesting.
Just because of population size, it must be pretty terrifying to see the civil unrest bubbling in India.
Yeah,
that's got to be a panic situation, isn't it, for any politician? I think
it's the first minister who's been forced to resign out of Modi's government for the last 10 years or however long he's been in. I think for quite a long time. I mean, I was reading up about what a bunch of gobshites the BJP were back when I was there in 2002. So, you know, they're the equivalent of the BNP, but for India.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're but for the grace.
Yeah. Yeah. The figures have come through for how much less Canadians have spent in America last year compared with the year before.
Okay. Interesting.
$3.3 billion less into the American economy.
That's just pure profit. Missiles.
That's just pure profit for America because it's money that's been earned in another country. Tax has been paid on it in another country. Then it comes in and it goes, here you go, here's this money that you didn't have to chip in to get sorted in the first place.
That's good. Canada's response to Trump, I think, is exactly where Burnham needs to go. We said this the other day. It's
yeah.
It's like it's going to be shit either way. So why don't we just take a stance, and try and mobilize people against him?
Yeah, well, I agree with that. But you know, the thing is, this isn't a belt tightening exercise by the Canadians, because Trump will probably say, "Oh, it's because we've impoverished them with our famous tariffs or something." But it's not. They're taking the same number of holidays. They're spending the same amount of money in other countries, right? Just not America anymore. They've gone to other places.
Yeah, Mexico's tourism from Canada has gone up dramatically this year, apparently.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Direct economic cost for America's tourism business. Apparently, they're saying that Las Vegas is like a ghost town now compared to what it used to be. I'm not saying it's empty, but like compared with the crowds it used to pull in. But what they're doing now is because they realise that all the boomers have got shitloads of money and they're bored. They're actually just putting up the stakes for everything. Not pulling up the stakes, but putting up the stakes. So instead of just having a $1 card game or something, you can't do that anymore. It starts at $10, starts at $20, starts at $50. So they're having fewer people go there, but they're making just
fewer
as much
wealthy
money.
people.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, cost of living's got to be affecting that anyway, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Young people are stuffed, mate. I mean, it's so difficult. And it's not just the UK where this is a problem. I keep seeing these videos on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and stuff and Instagram. It's people going, "Oh, this is why people are having fewer children. This is why people are having fewer children because it's too fucking expensive in this country and in America to have kids."
Yeah. I've noticed since I've been here that we went to Portsmouth to the dockyards museums the other day, middle of July or beginning of July. And at the weekend, and it was almost empty. Like it's a tourist hotspot. The docks in Portsmouth, where the Mary Rose is and stuff like that. Yeah. And the place was almost empty in the summer, which is kind of, having lived in Brighton, which is pretty much always busy.
Yeah.
Basically, it doesn't really have a big impact on tourism. But the areas along the coast seem to be struggling, I think, with tourism at the moment, which makes sense as well.
Yeah. We had some good news though. A Chilean, a former colonel in Chile under Pinochet, when Pinochet took power on September the 11th, 9/11, 1973. Nice. There is actually, if you, I don't know if they've changed the name. I feel like they would have changed the name by now. But when Pinochet got in, he changed the name of the main boulevard in Chile's capital, Santiago, to September the 11th Avenue. Nice. That probably didn't go down well with American tourists. But so there was this guy called Nelson Hasse Mazzi, I think, or Matzi, which is a funny name for someone who's a Nazi. He's been captured. Now, this is a guy who was convicted in 2023 for the murder of singer and political activist Victor Jara back in the 70s, and he fled before the sentence could be passed. And now they've tracked him down. But there you go. Jara, the actor, the singer and political activist, he was detained, tortured, and killed by Augusto Pinochet's scumbags. Wow. What would you call them? Gobshites. And and this is he's the final fugitive of the former soldiers that were convicted over this case. So he's finally going to get justice. He's fucking old as hell now, but his last few years are going to be spent in a jail cell.
It's incredible how long it takes, though, doesn't it, to get justice on these things?
Yeah,
but good that it happens within the lifetime of the family, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
well, there was still a guy who went to jail for the crimes he committed during World War II a few years ago.
Yeah.
He was like 100 years old. He still went down.
There can't be many of them left, can there?
Uganda's not doing too well at the moment. We often hear about Sudan really not doing well. But there's been months of drought in Uganda, and 19 people have died from hunger so far, and there's 1.5 million people in Uganda facing malnutrition. And this is climate change.
Right. I mean, because Uganda's quite a lush country, isn't it?
It's not a particularly dry country. It borders. It's dense jungle in parts. It borders Kenya and also Rwanda, which is famed. The gorillas in the mist. That's
because it's also enormous. Uganda's one of the largest countries in Africa.
Oh no, it's not that. It's not. Uganda's not that big compared with others, but it's a fair size. It's a fair size. Yeah. But where it is, I mean, the borders it's got. I mean, considering its size, it's got about 8 borders or something mad. It's got a border with South Sudan. And if you go to the west of the country, it's a lot more tropical, and then sort of as you go north in the country, it becomes a bit more Sahel, a bit more deserty. Sure. Just really, really grim news from a country that really shouldn't be having droughts, climate change, and also bad governance. We have to mention that as well. Yeah. But when climate change rears its ugly head, you've got to be very, very lucky to have a government that can actually deal with what needs to be done, so that 1.5 million people don't end up bloody starving. What are people saying in the chat? The weapons depletion is not the only loss for Trump. Ask yourself what happened to the oil-based global crash due in July. It's because China quietly intervened, providing 18 million barrels a day. Yeah.
Wow.
And also, I mean...
Well, hang on, though. Where's China getting it from? China doesn't have... I mean, is that oil reserves? Because they don't have...
Well, they'll probably get it from Russia.
I was going to say, they don't have oil of their own, really, do they? Or not much.
Yeah. The server says, it feels like the end of the world is nigh. No, it's not. It's going to be fine. The world's going to be fine. It's just going to become a bit more uncomfortable for no good reason. It's like someone's gone, do you know what, Mike? We'll take away this nice comfy pillow that you're sitting on and we'll give you a load of spikes to sit on instead. And you're like, why would you do that? And they're like, because I can.
I've just finished a cartoon of Binface talking to Marvin, the paranoid android. And Marvin's basically saying, when are you going to tell them about the Vogon plan?
Was that? Did you see what I posted to Phil earlier? Did that inspire that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hope. Don't talk to me about hope.
Phil's got no hope.
Anyway, listen. I'm gonna just notice that we've been going now for nearly 45 minutes. We haven't got any super chats in. So what I'm gonna do is don't give a super chat just in the next minute or so. I'm gonna change the super chat goal to just one super chat. Go make our evening, and we will release the Bin Feffy, which I know Mike is really excited about. Diz is incredibly excited.
It's the only reason I'm here. It's literally the only reason.
Well, the guy did the voice for Zippy's died, so we're thinking of doing Zip Feffy, and we'll have Zippy going in the middle. Hello, George. Hello, Jeffrey.
This is like your Anne Widdecombe series of jokes. It's too early.
What?
Nothing. I'm not saying.
I did not make any jokes about Anne Widdecombe once I knew that she'd been murdered.
I took screenshots. So,
I said Anne Widdecombe. That was the joke I made. Before I knew she was murdered, and then when I found out she'd been murdered, I took it down, even though it wasn't even that bad.
St. Anne of Widdecombe. Her dying words were, "Please vote for Nigel against Count Binface."
if the internet had been around in 1997, I would have had, princess died and father dead. Do you know what I mean? No disrespect to them. It's just funny that I can change their name slightly because they're not with us anymore. And the dead people are the best people to take the piss out of. They can't get offended.
Definitely too early on the lady dying.
too soon. Hashtag too soon. Lady died. Oh my God, we got some super chats in. Thank you, Mike. See, Mike. The begging bowl. It works. John H. First of all, one day he will be gone. I think I'll be talking about Trump there. I'll certainly fucking hope so, mate. And then we've got Sarah Davis, £2 super chat. Go on then. Okay, go on then. Just this one.
Bless you.
Here we go.
Thanks,
3, 2, 1. Bin Feppy! Lovely Bin Feppy. Yeah. We'll give a Phil Morehouse thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you very much to everyone who chipped in there for the confetti.
Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics.
Politics.
Yeah, bless you.
Hope. Don't talk to me about hope. Sorry, this is a little inside joke between me and Mike and Phil here, but yeah. Phil's not a big fan of the politics of hope. Ask Phil next time I do the agenda on Friday. Ask him about the politics of hope. Actually, no, I'm not doing it on Friday this week. I'm doing it on Thursday. Thursday is going to be a bumper day. I'm going to do the morning show, and then at 1 o'clock I'm doing an earlier the agenda because I'm not available on Friday to do it, and then I'm doing the show with Franny in the evening.
What are you doing Friday? Something good?
I'm going to the Kendall Calling Festival because my friends are playing with their guitars and their drums.
Lovely.
And their lovely voices. And also, kind of annoyingly, the Scissor Sisters and We Are Scientists are playing at the same time as my mates. So I'm like, bastards. So what do I do? Do I just start watching my friend's band and then just sort of slink off afterwards to the other bands?
No, you don't.
No,
what do I do? Stay there for your friends.
That's do I have to stay there? It's all right. There'll be loads of people there. It'll be fine. It's not going to be,
Okay. I mean, I won't DM them and say, "Was Graham there for the whole set?"
Do you know what I should do? Right, just give someone my hat. Right in the crowd, give them my hat, and I'll say, "No, that was me. That was me with the hat on." I mean, look, I'm not asked about We Are Scientists. I saw them a couple of years ago.
When I finally call on you and say, Graham, you're one of my best friends. I really need your help. I shall just expect
to fuck off and watch.
That's all I'm saying.
Scissor Sisters instead. I haven't seen the Scissor Sisters since 2004. Come on, please. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Nor have I. Or before 2004.
Animatronic got me very, very drunk. That's when I lost my first hat.
Because what? You promised to be at somebody else's gig and you lent the hat to somebody?
I was in the back room of the NHS. The NHS? What the fuck is on me tonight? The NME signing tent. The NHS signing tent where all these celebrities went and signed stuff. I was in the back and I was right next to the fridge that had all the free beers in it. And I was doling the beers out to everyone who came to do signing stuff. And we had one too many. And then I went out to watch the Pixies. Dead excited about seeing the Pixies. Hadn't seen them before live. Dead excited. And I get in the crowd. I'm having a great time. Having a bit of a mosh. Drunk as fuck. And then I think, I know, I'll do a bit of crowd surfing. Ooh. And then I woke up at the side of the crowd. An hour later, and the Pixies had finished their set, and the Strokes were on, which I like the Strokes, but I was like, oh my god, they just missed the Pixies. Yeah, so be that a lesson to you, young people. Don't drink. Festivals and drinking do not mix. I'm not going to be allowed. I'm not going to be able to drink at this festival because I'm only going for the day and have to drive there and drive back.
Good.
Well, Kendall Calling. If anyone wants to pop along on Friday to join me, you're very welcome to if you got a ticket. But yes, DTK. Can I have a confetti? My friend, you can have anything your heart desires that's within my capabilities to give you. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bin Feppy! Yay! Woo! Bin Feppy! Oh, what am I going to do once this election's over? It's just not going to be as much fun, is it?
Well, he'll be standing somewhere else, is my guess.
I'll be standing somewhere else. Or you?
Robert Jenrick will resign next over his finances. Then Tice. then Farage will probably have another go in February, basically. So.
Have you seen the what's it called? The ballot paper for
yeah. It's like the toilet paper for the Clacton election.
For the Clacton election. I'll show it on the screen. Just give me a second to just cue this up. I'll show it on the screen. Sorry, I know we're supposed to be doing world politics at the moment, but you just got to see this. This is the paper. I've just put it on the side of the screen, Mike, so that the viewers at home can see it. Look at that. That is all of the people standing in the Clacton by-election. It's like over 30 of them. And Bin Face is on the first fold. So if you look at the first fold at the top of the page, he's on the first fold. Nigel Farage is on the third fold. I'm just hoping people don't fold it open enough to see Nigel Farage's name. That's what
Imagine on the night that they announce the results and they have to read through all 34 of those.
Yes. And how many votes they got?
Lord Ponsonby Futon, 2.5 votes. It's like... And Farage is going to be standing there smirking like a twat in between a fox and a God-loving sex therapist and Count Bin Face.
A God-loving sex therapist. Oh, give me their number.
Have you seen this? There's a party that's called the We Are God Party or something, and it's run by an ex-accountant and a sex therapist.
Oh, I like it. I'm going to vote for them. Sorry, I've got to apologise to DTK. Didn't ask for binfetti, asked for confetti. Confetti.
Oh, man.
So we'll have to do it again. So here you go. This is for DTK. It's confetti! Yay! Woo-hoo! Very exciting.
They kind of got binfetti free there.
I know. They got a free binfetti. Like, you don't have to pay for it. Nothing.
Because
I can't read. Got a message here from Reverend Kathy saying, God-loving sex therapist, you rang. You rang. Monty Python's Silly Party. Yeah, the Silly Party, for Tang from the Silly Party and the Sensible Party. Yeah, Diz is excited. Diz is getting 3 times the amount of confetti that we normally dole out. Anyway, so before we wrap up, we've got a few other stories to get through. The Javier Milei has spoken out about Argentina's antics during the World Cup.
He's been admonishing the players, I guess, telling them that they were an embarrassment to their country.
No.
What's he done?
He has accused U.S. Democrats. So this is the leader of Argentina, who's a Nazi. He calls himself the superhero called the anarcho cap man or something. And the idea is he's a narco-capitalist. He turns up with a chainsaw. He's really hairy. He looks like he just stumbled out of an unfunny 1970s British sex comedy. And he has blamed U.S. Democrats, saying they financed an anti-Argentina campaign at the World Cup, and that forced those Argentinian players to just start beating up on the Spanish players after they lost the match.
To be tossers.
Yeah. He also blamed Brazil and Mexico.
I can imagine how a couple of posters would definitely drive you to become an angry little thug, basically, wouldn't it?
Yes. Well, apparently he also blames Brazil and Mexico, saying that online critics do not want the ideas of freedom to succeed. You know, the idea like there's an island miles away, hundreds of miles away, that is populated by people who 99.8% of them want to be British. You know, if you took away their British citizenship, that would be real freedom. And then this country that has a GDP per capita, a quarter of the United Kingdom, because it's a fucking basket case because it hasn't been run right for over 150 years. But, you know, they might want that. They might want to just take a massive cut in their, standard of living and be forced to speak Spanish and convert to Catholicism, possibly. I don't know.
As the Argentines had to do, basically.
Yeah, well, under the threat of the sword, I do think that other countries should start claiming random parts of Argentina just to see how they feel. I think Wales should unilaterally declare Patagonia as Welsh. There's a lot of Welsh people.
They did try. They did try.
There's a lot of Welsh people live there. Using the Vladimir Putin defense. There's a lot of people speaking Russian in Ukraine, so we're just going to invade. Like Britain could just say, "Oh, there's a lot of people speaking English in South Africa, in America,
everywhere.
In Canada, in New Zealand,
literally
in Australia,
literally everywhere. Basically.
Literally everywhere. There's lots of people speaking English. I watched this show, and it was set in South Korea, and all the actors were South Korean, but they spoke in English. I think they were dubbed, but that's not the point. We should take over South Korea. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
all we need is we just need a ship in our navy. That's it.
Yeah,
just one will do.
Yeah. There's also let's see if we've got any.
People
updates.
are saying they didn't get YouTube notifications for this. There's quite a few people in the comments saying that. We'll have to look into that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think anyone got any YouTube notifications this afternoon because I did a bit of writing this afternoon. I'm up to 29,000 words now, Mike.
That's good.
Well on the
Using
way.
YouTube as the motivator to actually write some stuff.
Yeah. I couldn't start till someone was watching. It was like that party we went to the other week.
That's fine. It's like I keep saying you when you video call me on a Saturday night and say, "Come on, Mike, watch me and Kat." I'm going, "No, Graham, I'm not doing that. Not again."
I need to know someone's watching. Anyway, I am at heart an entertainer. Anyway, you pay me well, so I'm not complaining. Everyone speaks English, but the English won't speak anything else, says Hidden Night. Well, I've got an excuse for this, and you might not like this excuse, but it is this. I've travelled around the world, and you know what? Bit of Spanish, bit of French. Learn the local way to say hello, and the local way to say thank you, and the local way to say cheers. Brilliant, just learn a little bit. But the reality is, if you meet someone and try to speak their language, you have got to speak French better than that French person can speak English.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a stilted conversation, and they've got
weirdly
better things to do.
I think in general, the English are very tolerant of people speaking their English badly. Basically,
yes,
well,
because we have to deal with it all the time with dickheads who vote for fucking refuck, who are actually British. Oh yeah, and Americans butchering our language.
We're basically used to the Americans, so we go, yeah, whatever you want to do.
What's an herb? What's an herb? It's got a H at the beginning of it. It's a herb. It's a herb. Do Americans call people, when someone's called Herb, like short for Herbert, do they call them herb, or do they get a H?
I doubt it. No, I doubt it.
H, not a H, NH. Svak says...
I saw a bit. I think the thing you're referencing was a British actress complaining about it on one of the talk shows, wasn't she? Have you seen that clip?
No.
And it just kind of...
I saw an American accent. It was an American accent actress, was it?
It's an English actress. And she's saying, "What is it with you Americans saying herb? It begins with an H. You don't say house." And I thought, actually, the English... We do say it's in the house.
Hotel. We do drop our H's. But no, there was an American actress and she'd been interviewed, and I thought she was very right on when she was talking about this. Oh, who was it? I think it was the Hunger Girls chick. What's her name? It might have been her. I'm not sure, but one of them anyway. And they were talking about when because so many roles in America are played by British actors. And she was like, "Yeah, but it's easy for Americans, for a British actor to put on an American accent because they've only got 3. It's like the Boston accent, and then there's like the Kentucky Deep South accent, and then there's the California accent. Yeah. Maybe the Minnesota accent. That's a bit different, but like by and large, there's not that many. But in the UK, they're like, if it's an American actress. And they're saying to them, "We want you to play a British person." They're like, "Well, where are they from?
Yeah.
Are they from Manchester? Are they from Liverpool? They're from Warrington." So it's like a mix.
I was going to say, they'll say they're from London and they'll do the accent. And you go, "No, they're from Islington, you idiot."
Don't speak like that. They're from Islington, you idiot, not Tower Hamlets. Yeah. It is funny. It is funny. Good. So yeah, meanwhile, over in Australia, we're seeing the Angus Taylor's approval rating has crashed apparently, and One Nation, which is their equivalent of refuck, and the leader of it is this woman called Pauline Hanson, and she's a gobshite, and she's been around in politics over there for years. She's She's the Farage of Australia, you know, and their vote was doing quite well, but it's just plateaued, and at the same time as Nigel Farage's has over here, because I think people are just going, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it.
And Trump's ratings are through the floor at the moment, aren't they? So it's
you say that.
Well, I mean, his approval ratings are the lowest of any American president, including him the first time. Basically.
Yeah, but it's like because the lowest used to be 38% and he's on 37. So it's not like
no, but you never know.
Yeah. But yeah, Angus Taylor is the leader of the Liberal Party in Australia, and the Liberal Party are the equivalent of the Tories. So basically, he's really unpopular. So Labour are doing quite well in Australia, but they spell Labour without the U.
Yeah.
Just in the party.
Well, you know, again, country full of convicts. What do you expect?
You can't tell those jokes.
We didn't send them out there with dictionaries. That's the thing.
I always made a joke that, you know, when people asked me where I was from, I was like, I'm from Liverpool with all the Australians who never got caught.
Yeah, very good.
But yeah, Australia. Yeah, there was the old joke, wasn't there, about you cross over the border and they say at the airport, and they say, have you got any convictions? And you say, I didn't know it was still compulsory.
Well, I mean, listen, I think I'm qualified to tell those jokes because my nephew and niece moved out there 10 years ago and discovered some relatives out there that had been there for 100 years or more, basically. And you go, okay. I wonder why they went.
I wonder what they did. I wonder how many apples they stole or whatever it was. Right, okay, so sorry, we got a little bit off topic there about the news around the world. But the good news is that the right wing aren't doing too well in Australia. They're not doing too well in India at the moment. Vladimir Putin's war is going absolutely terribly, and he's freaking out clearly. The bad news is that Europe's on fire, and we're going to have another heat wave, Mike, this week down in the south.
Yep.
Sorry.
We're all going to burn.
Well, you're not going to burn, but it's not very good for the crops, is it?
And just as we get rid of fascism as a second wave movement, basically, and then we go, maybe we should have spent more time banging on about the climate, basically, because we might be fighting the wrong monster.
Well, before we sign off, I did want to mention the fact that the AI has been the AI bubble seems to be bursting. I did cover this in the morning show, so I don't want to go on about it too much, but. South Korean stock market is a 3-month ended today, trading today on a 3-month low. Samsung shares in Samsung fell 10%. Samsung's one of the biggest companies in the world. 10% is a fuckload. And SpaceX has just gone off a cliff. I think it's less than $100 now. But there are some people who are locked in. They can't sell their shares, and they've bought them for $135.
It will be like the internet bubble in the late 90s. It's going to explode.
Yeah.
It was always bound to.
When Wall Street opened today, Intel, AMD, SanDisk, Western Digital Core, and Seagate have all gone down by more than 4%. They manufacture hard drives and bits and pieces. Apple booked the trend. But Nvidia became the biggest company in the world.
Apple is shit at AI, so it's like
no, but they're not shit at AI. I think they've just seen what you've seen and what I've seen and gone, it's not worth putting all our money in this.
No, when I say shit, exactly.
We'll just back with the winner.
We'll come along and use some of the good stuff. Basically.
Yeah. You guys waste all your money and cause lots of people to lose their shares.
Google have switched my home speakers over to use Gemini. And it's just got shitter and shitter every day. So I get up every morning and ask it what time it is. This morning, it said it is 7 hours and 29 minutes past midnight. And I said, what the fuck? Nobody describes the time that way.
It's like a joke. It's like a joke from Red Dwarf, isn't it?
It's just pathetic.
Well, I was raging this morning. Or was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday, but last night, right? I watched an episode of House of the Dragon. It's a new Game of Thrones spin-off. and I just wrote into Google, not into Google AI, just Google, who was it who got captured at the end of the episode, because I wasn't quite sure of, who it was, whatever, because it was years since the last season, and there's loads of people in. I can't remember who everyone is. Anyway, so I wrote, and it didn't just tell me who he was. It told me what happened to him, and it told me who ends up king at the end, or queen at the end of the entire series.
Well, it's only the only solace you can take from that is it probably got it wrong as well.
Well, no, because it's taken from the book, isn't it? It's taken from the book, so because it's based on a book which I haven't read, because I don't want any spoilers. I was like, oh, for God's sake. Oh. Yeah. So, yeah, AI just doing everyone's head in one day at a time.
SpaceX stock dropped faster than their rocket. They crashed another rocket the other day to whoops and cheers from all the engineers.
It fell over in the water, didn't it? And then there was a bit of flame, but it didn't explode.
Well, and they were all surprised that it didn't explode.
Yeah, they're like, when's it going to explode?
And you go, why were you aiming for it to explode in the first place? Why have you tried flying the fucking thing? Basically?
The end shitification of everything. Anyway, I'll tell you who's not shit. Maximilian Robespierre, and we are going to send you over to him now. If you keep watching this channel, keep watching past the credits, and you will see lovely, lovely Max, and say hello from us. He's in Italy, our favourite Irishman in Italy. And say hi from me and Mike. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Before we go, if you give us a like, if you did like this, if you didn't like it, well, fuck off. No, actually, just give us a dislike. Doesn't matter. It's all interaction. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, if you're watching this on Catch Up. And hit the bell notification icon, because sometimes it works. Yeah. As the actress said to the bishop. Okay, so Mike Dicks, thank you so much for joining me this evening. And thanks to everyone watching. And until we meet again, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Woo.